All right, it appears that new Browns head coach Todd Monken and front office GM Andrew Berry, they have identified who they are looking to bring in as their defensive coordinator. And check this out. They pull in a little steal-a-roni on Kevin Stefanski. They are stealing someone from the Atlanta Falcons staff. This is super interesting. We got to break this down, man. This story was put out there by Mary Kay Cabot, who is anybody but Shador Mafia, but she put this out there about the defensive coordinator situation as it appears the Cleveland Browns may have found their answer. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification to hype the video as well. Let's get right into it. This is courtesy of Pro Football Talk. Here it says, the Browns are getting closer to finding their defensive coordinator. Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com reports that they are interviewing a pair of candidates in person this weekend. So listen, I believe by tomorrow, Monday, we will have an answer on who the official defensive coordinator is. It says Texans defensive pass game coordinator Curry Undlin and Falcons defensive pass game coordinator Mike Rutenburg have advanced to this round of the search. Undlin has worked for the Texans since 2023 and was a secondary coach for the 49ers for 2 years before moving to Houston. He spent 2020 as the Lions defensive coordinator. Rutenburg moved to Atlanta for the 2025 season and worked under Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich for 4 seasons as the linebackers coach with the Jets. So Rutenburg could be the answer here. And I mean, you'd be stealing him from Atlanta at this point. And I mean, hey, who does not want to do something to spite Kevin Stefanski after the full-on sabotage job he pulled on Shador Sanders? Let's get into 92.3 The Fan. Dale Ryder and Nick, they addressed the defensive coordinator situation with some inside information from Mary Kay Cabot. Let's take a listen.
Browns defensive coordinator search news this morning. Oh, thank heavens for a little of that. Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com and the Plain Dealer reporting that Corey Undlin and Mike Rutenburg from the Texans and Falcons, respectively, meeting in person with the Browns to replace Jim Schwartz on Todd Monken's staff. And we are praying to everything holy that they will have a defensive coordinator in the next day or two.
It feels like we're kind of moving that way, right? Like Mary Kay put out there that Monken could identify his man in the next day or two. So it certainly feels like we're cruising to find a defensive coordinator here soon. And dude, if you think about this, look, they're obviously in no rush. That's not breaking news. That's just stating the obvious at this point.
Right.
But should they be? Like, I want to know your perspective on that. Because, Daryl, this is the last week of prep that they have to do before the Combine. So you've got today, which is Sunday, but then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then if you want to bake in Saturday, Sunday next week.
Well, they're heading to Indianapolis this weekend.
Right. So you've got 5 days of prep to do with your new DC, your whole new staff. Hey, fellas, we got 5 days. And obviously, if you've got your scouts and you've got those people that have done some of that prep work. But as coaches, like, I at least would want to know, if I'm Monken, what my defensive coordinator is thinking about potentially Caleb Downs there in the first round. Or if you really are going into this thing and you're thinking offensive line and thinking receiver, like, I want to know what my defensive coordinator thinks about some of the sleeper prospects that might be out there. Like, well, I just think that it would benefit them to get this solved by tomorrow, dude. So then they could genuinely have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get their internal affairs in order before the band hits the road and goes to Indy for the Combine.
I'll say this. I'm giving them leeway there just because the defense, they're pretty much set on that side of the ball, okay? If they were still looking for an offensive coordinator, where you're not set anywhere, right? You got to rebuild an offensive line. David Njoku has already said bye-bye. You're replacing him this offseason. You need to really infuse the wide receiver room with some talent. You got to figure out, is it going to be Shador? Is it going to be somebody else? Are you going to make us sit there and watch Deshaun Watson this year? Please, I hope not, but that's a possibility. Like, if it was the offensive coordinator, that's one thing. But the defense, they're pretty well, like, the foundation is in place, okay? Agreed. You got Myles Garrett, you got Mason Graham, you got Carson Schlesinger. You got Grant Delpit and Denzel Ward. and Campbell. So, that side of the ball, your main pieces of the puzzle are there. So, there's just a sense of urgency just because I'm getting annoyed.
Yeah, but dude, at the same time, I get that the foundation is there, but do you really want somebody's first week on the job being in Indianapolis where we've got all of this going on and so many moving pieces and parts? Like, I'd at least like to have a full week with my guys in the facility before we're going on a big fact-finding mission like that. That's all.
Yeah, then listen, there are 9 other teams that have had to rebuild coaching staffs this offseason because a third of the league decided in a year when it wasn't great to hire a head coach. A third of the league was like, yeah, it's the perfect time to make coaching changes. I don't get that, but it is what it is. But the Browns aren't the only team in this boat, and I'm not as worried about it. I'm not. I'm just annoyed with it.
Okay, the Browns aren't the only team in this, but I'm annoyed with it too, and that's what we're getting at here. Like, who are the teams in this boat that don't have a defensive coordinator? It's us, Vegas, and Arizona. That's a great boat to be in. It sounds like it's sinking. There's a leak in that boat also.
I don't think anyone wants to go to Arizona. It feels like, for all the talk about how, quote unquote, the Browns' jobs are from an attractiveness standpoint, you don't want to go to Cleveland. Listen, could be worse. You could go to Arizona. Now that is the ultimate, kiss of death. That is the place you don't want to be.
I'm baking Miami into that too.
No, I listen.
You owe Tua all that money. You got to pay Josh Allen twice a year.
I'm going to tell you right now. I don't care how bad the Dolphins are. The quality of life, Miami, making that kind of money, pretty good. I'm just saying.
Pretty warm in Phoenix too.
So we have a thing on the show. We get calls all across the country.
We do.
We do. We have gotten plenty of interstate calls, and we're leading off the show. Daytona, Florida. Ryan. Good morning, Ryan. You're first up on the fan. How you doing, bud?
Daryl, Nick, thanks for taking my call, man. You guys are awesome. I tell you, just leaving the gym at the grocery store now, just before I go to Daytona 500 today, I popped you guys on and just talking about aliens and AI taking over.
I don't know how we ended up there, but we did. See, this is what you get on Sunday mornings. You just never know what you're going to get.
Yes, this is what matters. Fun stuff like that. I digress on that, man. I tell you, the uniqueness, obviously, of Schwartz just in the back of all our heads. You alluded to, obviously, you said he's going to stick it where the sun doesn't shine on the Browns, and you said the Browns took that. I hope that's not the situation. I do believe that Schwartz truly is in my opinion, again, I know he had a top 5 defense, but again, I feel that he's a top 5 defensive coordinator, if not better. So us not retaining him is not just kind of water underneath the bridge. It's just like a Shermer or Romeo Crennel, a head coach or whatever, just guys come and go here and there. That was a real deal, dude. And again,
you losing Jim Schwartz, but hey, man, you got to do what you got to do to replace him. You got to move on. This is season to prepare for. I think one of these guys can come in and get the job done, man. At the end of the day, there's a lot of talent on that defensive side of the ball, and I think one of these guys should be able to step in and get the job done. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. This Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel.